I mean, if you don't know how many people you are trying to extract from an enemy territory, it makes it very difficult. I mean, even in Vietnam, we had lists of people. Brian Kilmeade last hour kind of joked. He goes, well, maybe they ripped up those lists when they were leaving the embassy. Oh, come on. We know who's there. So here's the information Fox News is getting from sources on the ground. Even though the president promised, on ABC that America will take off on the 31st, and then he said, well, maybe we'll get them all out, and we may have to stay longer. I couldn't figure out where we're going with that with him. Which one is it? Now we learned from the Pentagon, we don't know how many people are on the ground. So which is it? Like, do we know what we're doing or we don't?
We don't. And we have a president who's misleading us, saying that the intel didn't warn him this could happen when, in fact, reporting at many publications.
We're getting our own intel.
We're getting our own intel here at Fox News. And then I just want to step back at this remarkable moment from the Pentagon briefing today. Look, Jen Psaki promised us a daily White House press briefing. There isn't one today. There wasn't one Monday. When the going gets tough, the daily press briefing that she promised goes out the window. We don't plan on hearing from Biden again today other than that ABC interview. So we're left with the Pentagon briefing. He said, I do not know how many Americans are on the ground. When you are a press secretary at any entity, you anticipate whatever the questions will be. One of the most obvious questions is how many Americans are on the ground. He didn't take the time to pick up the phone and call Secretary of State Antony Blinken and get that number for us when you are the one place we are getting information from today, when there are nearly 15,000 American hostages on the ground. And yes, call them hostages. They may not be in jails, but they are indeed unable to escape Afghanistan. And the Pentagon spokesperson could not pick up the phone, and Jen Psaki won't go to the podium to give us these very basic answers we deserve.
Yeah, but it's an extension of what we're watching potentially with this administration. We have a president who delivers a message and then walks away, doesn't even turn back, like very robotic, scripted, whatever you want to call it. And he's very good at it because he does it over and over. And then he passes it on to the next person. That's what the Pentagon's doing. They said, yeah, no, we don't know how many Americans are there, but check the State Department. Right? I mean, that's the lesson in what we're watching. And look, what they do is hard. I'm not saying that, but it's impossible if you don't all get on the same page with the facts.
This is a rolling humiliation, as the Wall Street Journal called it today. And they pointed out that while there haven't been any American captives taken hostage yet, as they point out, it is clear, they write, that the jihadists have taken the Biden administration as political hostage. And you pointed out our sources in Kabul right now. They tell Fox today that there is real concern on the ground that despite President Biden's assurances that we will stay past August 31st, that they don't believe we will hold that commitment, and that because of this glacial pace of processing, which has deadly consequences, also in contrast to what President Biden says, they worry that there will be thousands left behind and Americans will get the blame. And final quick point. Yesterday, when we did hear from Biden about the vaccination situation, he said it was unacceptable about the unvaccinated, right, with such fervor and conviction. What is unacceptable is a lack of transparency about the Americans, the evacuation situation, and the fact that all we do know is the only thing that we do have faith in is the ability to control one runway in that entire country.
Exactly.
So the Pentagon today said that they can move 5,000 to 9,000 people per day. Well, why would you even know you could do that if you don't know how many people are on the ground?
Right. Remember, we got 3 different estimates. We got one
in
from
one
Kirby,
day,
one from Psaki,
in one 24-hour period.
Correct.
I mean, we went from 5,000 people to 11,000 people in just a couple of times of people at the lectern.
Exactly.
Look, the point that
these people are true immigrants, not the Mexicans and other ones coming through the south border. True immigrants that need sanction.
At Fox News to what the president says will happen. And that is, well, if there's anybody left behind after August 31st, we'll go get them. And everybody being concerned on the ground that that's not actually going to happen. I mean, I don't want to wait to find out who's wrong. I want to know it's going to be okay. And in the case of the president, he can't blame that on anybody else at that point. He was either lying or didn't know.
Liar.
If we get past August 31st and there are Americans on the ground...
Wake up, America. This will be us next. Fleeing our country.
Doesn't know what he's doing. It's a binary choice at that point.
100%.
The clock is ticking. President Biden promised allies America is back. But now the chaotic Afghanistan withdrawal has world leaders condemning his actions.